Picture this, you're on YouTube, you scroll down and see a video that stands out to you. You hover over it and it seems intriguing enough to click. You watch this video and enjoy it. As you exit the full screen, you see another one. Click on it, and now before you know it, you spent hours on YouTube when you should have taken out the chicken like your mother told you. Now you're panicking, trying to put hot water on the chicken before she gets home without it turning white. And the reality of how fucked your situation is sets in. And the despair of knowing your mother's wrath can come at any given second makes your stomach bubble. But you can't shit. And that, my friends, is helplessness. Learned helplessness is a psychological phenomenon where a person or animal can experience trauma or life lessons that eventually leads to them ingraining behaviors of giving up, shutting down, or going into a panic attack. The welfare trap, for example, incentivizes people who are below the poverty line to stay in poverty. For working a minimum wage job means you technically lose money for working than you do sitting at home. A famous boomer quote, "Don't fix what isn't broken," actually holds some weight that even some of you millennials or Gen Zers watching can agree on. It can be extremely disparaging to attempt to escape poverty by climbing the ladder only for your government benefits to be stripped from you, only being able to barely scrape by on bills, with the only rest you receive is either through eating or sleeping. That kind of endless loop to nowhere can drive any person insane. So what can a person do to escape the bottom? What can a person do to escape their bad habits, break free from poverty, and enjoy a life worth living? Before you say it, it's not Bitcoin. It's what is called discipline. Discipline is the ability to follow instructions or rules. This can be rules of instructions that you set for yourself or an obligation you adhere to, i.e. work, school, law, etc. To explain this further, let's take our boy Josh here. He works at a local grocery store from 8 to 2 for 5 days a week. He rings groceries, restocks, and cleans up the store. After work, he goes to school from 4 to 8 for his 4-year degree in accounting. He then has about 6 hours of free time between his 2 hours free after work and 4 hours free after school. What does he do? He could study, learn a new skill, work out, meal prep, go out and meet new people, but instead, he decided to spend 6 of those free hours playing League of Legends, watching TV, and whacking his weed. In fact, he goes beyond his 6 free hours and spends an extra 4 hours doing leisurely activities and disregards his studies. He only gets about 4 hours of sleep and is late to work. He slacks on his job and is behind on his schoolwork. Instead of working up the energy to do the work, he sleeps in when he gets home until 4 in the morning. Now he only has about 4 hours to work, and instead of studying, he decides to scroll on TikTok and play games until his shift. Josh keeps doing this even on his off days and puts little to no time on working on himself or his schoolwork. If any students are watching, I'm pretty sure you can relate. Josh lacks discipline. Not because he doesn't understand that these things are important for his future. He knows adhering to the instructions and rules that his job, school, and his self sets on him is hard. So he'd rather do anything else but that. Josh wants a bright future. Josh wants money to better his financial situation. Josh wants to be the best man he can be. However, the stress of work, school, and adhering to his self-work like exercise, abstaining, eating healthy, and building a vibrant social life sounds daunting. Do you believe there's any hope for Josh? As Miyamoto Musashi said, "Never accept an inferior position to anyone. It is the strongest spirit that wins, not the most expensive sword." The confidence to overcome any obstacle, no matter what stands in your way, is known as grit. Grit is the ability to continuously pursue something without stopping. This means that even if Josh gets fired from his job, he will continue to find another, learn from his mistakes, and do better next time. If he bombs his test, he'll be more intentful with his studies, regardless of how tired he is. If he breaks his streak from abstaining, falls off from working out, and eats junk food when he's not supposed to, he will not quit and continue to persist in bettering himself. There's a powerful word that we have come up with that combines the forces of both grit and discipline. It is a word that is abstract, yet we all understand its meaning. That word is willpower. It is impossible to persist in discipline without grit, for you will have no driving force that allows you to pursue the rules and instructions you've placed on yourself or what your job, school, or any person or external obligation expects from you. Without the presence of grit, you are unable to be disciplined. For grit has no utility without the presence of a task or rule that needs to be adhered to. These forces are like yin and yang. One cannot live without the other. There's no such thing as willpower without the combination of these two forces working in harmony. We all can learn from Josh's struggle, as most of the people watching this have a combination of bad habits that influence your behavior, inhibiting you from what you truly desire in life. This can be as simple as losing a couple of hours of sleep to smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. In the book Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, he speaks on the devil's 2 packs a day club, which is one of many ways that people spiral into a perpetual state known as drifters in the book. This is because when you light up a cigarette when you're stressed or have some free time, you're unconscious to the action you're taking, which slowly breaks down your willpower. This then leads you to take further actions that provide no long-term benefit for you, since you do not spend time consciously thinking of your actions. The other 2 ways a person can spiral into drifting are a lack of control of one's sexual energy and the looseness of your opinions. The lack of control of your most vigorous force known as sexual energy can be explained in an astronomical use of porn in the current times, the hookup culture that is spoken about on dating apps, and the empty and directionless path many people's sexual relations lead to. The presence of porn means that occurred sexual energy within a person goes to masturbation. Hookup culture means people only sleeping with each other for a combination of gratification and a release of sexual tension. The directionless path of relationships is a byproduct of hookup culture and the acknowledgement that there are countless sexual options available for both men and women. Therefore, if someone wants to leave for a better option, they can. So is there really a point in building something with someone if someone better will show up? The looseness of opinions stem from a lack of independent thought, aka thoughts that are conjured by your own reasoning and not what someone has told you or what you have heard or seen. Obtaining information or forming opinions without overseeing it with your reasoning faculty is the cause of drama, political discord, miscommunication, and war. Quote, "Don't shoot the messenger" roughly translates to a person who bears bad news will be punished for it, regardless of their own personal position. So think carefully of the things you think and what you say, for you or another could face negative consequences for doing so. We as people are imperfect, self-conscious, ego-driven, overthinking, benevolent, devilish, uncertain, unconscious, cruel, loving, passionate, beautiful, willful, and remarkable creatures. A single human being has more layers to his personality and spirit than any onion could ever hope to achieve. These parts of our character can only be unlocked through self-discovery. As Miyamoto Musashi states, there is nothing outside of yourself that can ever enable you to get better, stronger, richer, quicker, or smarter. Everything is within. Everything exists. Seek nothing outside of yourself. This quote can be easily misinterpreted as vanity or narcissism. However, that is not the case. Seeking nothing beyond yourself means to trust yourself entirely. It means that all lessons that you will achieve through your lifetime on this earth is already within you, with the external world only guiding you to the infinite intelligence already bestowed onto you. So what can you learn from this video? The answer you seek to further benefit you is already given to you. You are unable to see it, for you have not allowed yourself to see another way. You did not allow yourself the courage to do the things that will benefit you. You did not allow the burning fire that is your willpower to burn bright and carry you to its destination. If you finally let go and trust in your actions entirely, you will begin to see things from your life that you would have never thought were possible. Do not accept an inferior position for your being. Thank you for listening.